100, bro. You worth $6 million, and you $6 billion, and you are at the massage parlor. Kels, I'm gonna kick it to you. What you think?
I think it's hilarious because that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, if you worth that much money, you can have your own massage parlor at the house.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? It just, people have their weird fetishes, and that's probably something he's been doing for years and just ain't never got caught up. So,
but come on now, Kels.
You said, come on now.
He should have flown to Vegas and got that good old massage with a happy ending.
You should have went to the Bunny Ranch or something.
Yeah. That was his own fault. I was ducks in a row. He probably can't. He don't know. He just out there bad at 75.
Yeah. What you think?
So to answer your first question, I think he was attempting to pay for discretion. Lots of folks with money say that's why they solicit escorts and things of that nature, because it's supposed to be discreet. You get what you get. She don't throw a fit. You go on about your business. You leave the money on the dresser and it's over with. They go home. However, old folks, these old men don't recognize that we are in a new age. There are cameras everywhere, going out, under the little nightstand thing. If you are worth $6 billion, you need to have somebody coming in sweeping that room for bugs and everything else prior to you even coming into the building. Like, that's the level of security. If that's the type of kick you like, if that's how you get down, hey, I ain't knocking. I'm a team, do what you do. However, you must also cover yourself. Okay, $6 billion should get you a little more insight into covering yourself, so this type of stuff don't happen. Like, at 70 years old, you ain't figured it out.
At 77, not 70.
Get it together. I'm 35, and I'm gonna. If I got $6 billion, you better damn believe you ain't gonna get me caught up on no damn cameras and no massage parlor. Okay. Oh, they can get worth $6 million, and you ain't gonna see me in nobody's massage. Right? No, sir. No. So yeah, that was a fail. Where's his kids? He don't have nobody to keep him up with this kind of stuff to be like, bruh, pops, this is how you do this. Let me holler at you real quick. You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Bruh, bring them to the house.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Non-disclosure agreements and to the left.
I mean, just throw a couple of hundred at them. And
that's another thing. You worth $6 billion, you only dropped her 100 plus enough. Bruh, you a tacky billionaire at that. Like, yeah. Who raised you? Like, he probably put him on blast because he was a bad tipper. I bet you she had homegirls. He would have been still on the under and he tipped her a little better. As soon as he went on there, she said, girl, post that shit. He got me messed up. I'm going to get my money today, okay? Like, I'm telling you how that happened. I ain't playing in 2019. That's all. On Super Bowl weekend, I was wasted with your 77-year-old wrinkled tail. I got $200 on Super Bowl weekend. And this is what I do? Boy,
and you're the owner of the Patriots.
Nope. That was time wasted. I'm done. I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be inboxed by the end of the night. I'm about what?
That's all right. That's all right. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. All right, what next one? So the other Robert that we need to talk about is Robert Kelly, who was indicted for 10 counts. What was it? 10 counts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
10? Robert. I'm trying to do 10 counts. So now R. Kelly got 10 counts going on, and he's trying to figure out how. So wait a minute. So here's the thing. So he got charged with 10 counts, $100,000 bail, couldn't pay the bail. A lady who's a local business owner bailed him out, and now they're thinking about boycotting her business because she bailed out Robert.
How do I get mixed up? Why?
And then, according to this article, they mad because Robert, decided that the same McDonald's where he was known for trolling kids, he decides he's gonna go there after he get out and get him a quarter pounder with some coffee.
I took him a quarter pounder with a side of baby, with a side of a girl.
Quarter pounder with a kid, with a side of somebody's daughter.
Yeah, he probably out in the jungle gym. Balls.
What in the world is R. Kelly doing? What is he doing? Kels, what's your listen? What is he doing?
Man,
the only Kels I fool with.
Dirty Rob has lost his mind. Like, I want to know who this lady is. I said, Dirty Rob must got that shaboinka because who is bonding somebody out $100,000?
Don't ask me.
Rob got that shaboinka. He done gave that lady this.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
It can't be locked up.
I'm putting 5. I'm gonna put 5 on it on y'all's, but 100,000.
Not putting 100,000 on nobody's bond.
No, I'm good.
Nobody's, but I think he, this might be it for Dirty Kells. This might be the last hurrah. He better get as many quarter pounders as he can, because this might be it.
You think so?
It's about to go down. Yeah, I think it's about to go down. I think it is.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. And I really hate that the public is trying to get involved, I mean, yeah. This hurt my heart to see that she even put her business out there like that. She's a daycare owner. So now her character is being called into question, all over someone. She's saying he's a friend, and that's fine. My friends wouldn't allow me to put my business on the line like that over something that I put myself in position to be. Like, he has done this all by himself. So if I put myself, if we had a 20-year situation brewing where people were talking about me being involved in some stuff and I get caught up, I'm not going to allow you to put your businesses on the line to support me like that. Like, I would get it because that's my mess. You know what I'm saying? So I'm questioning this whole friendship thing, or is she just trying to cover for it, make some I don't understand. I don't understand. But like Kel says, I think this might be a wrap for your boy, because if anything, it's going to be one of those example maker cases. Because I think the white folks is tired of hearing his name. As much as it gives that counter and that alter, that balance and all that other stuff, I think that a lot of folks are just sick of this story, sick of hearing it over and over and over again, and him keep getting through, keep getting over, I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I need something to come of this. Either be done with it or let them, you know what I mean? Like, because the people know, if you believe that he did it, you already believe that he did it. If you believe that he didn't, it's really, after all of this come out now, the documentary and all that, that's not really much changing you. So either put him behind bars or leave the man the hell alone. One of the two, because you've already made your choice where you fall, one way or the other.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sick of it. I need something else.
I'm sick of him.
Yeah. And the people talking about it. Like, I'm sick of the supporters even, because people say some dumb stuff behind supporting a person they will never ever come face to face with.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff. So I'm sick of even seeing some smart people say some dumb ass stuff. Let's give them back they smarts and let R. Kelly, Aura go back. I've been questioning some real smart folks. I'm really, really questioning some real smart folks on my feed.
Yeah, he's bad. All right. Last but definitely not least. So Robert having a week. The Roberts are having a week. Last but definitely not.
I just gotta start laughing at this. Like,
They are having a week.
Not only are the Roberts having a week. But Jesse is having a week.
Juicy.
Juicy Jesse. How y'all say that man's name?
This is when they finna call him if his ass go to jail.
Justy. Justy. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even from the South. Justy Smollett. Listen, I'm sorry. I know the church folks gonna be real mad at me today. I'm sorry. Justy Smollett.
Smollett.
What?
Get out, Win. Move on. Let's go.
Right.
Has been charged with lying to the police. According to the reports, Juicy, whatever his name is.
You see what they call him.
Right.
That's what they about to call him, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. is got charged with. He's been charged, and now that he has been charged, he is about to possibly go to jail. Apparently, the story is they're saying that he paid his two Nigerian brothers to stage this attack. He's saying it wasn't, but they're saying the brothers. First of all, let me just say, apparently they didn't get the memo that snitches dig ditches.
None of that.
And these are some swole brothers. Let me say that. So if somebody who you would think would be able to hold water, you would think these would be the two guys who like I don't know anything. But apparently they are the ones. They admitted that Justin Juicy, whatever his name, have been lying. Come on, somebody gonna tell me what y'all think.
Man, I thought, we were suspicious from jump.
Yeah.
I was suspicious when it said he drove himself to the hospital. So I was like, I don't know, there's more to this, but when we had the video of them buying the MAGA hats and the rope and the told anybody got to know by now, if you pay somebody to hold something, they gonna tell. They gonna tell if you're not paid. They gonna tell if they paid if you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
You should have beat your own ass.
Right.
He should have learned from it's a thin line between love and hate.
Mm-hmm.
Got him a couple of oranges and called it a day. But now he trying to be smarter than the average bear, and the guy got out.
Mm.
I don't understand it, but for what? I just don't know why he did it. Why'd you do it, Jussie? We just want to know, Jussie, why did you do it? I want to know why.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I'll say this. So I watched the interview today with police superintendent Eddie Johnson, I believe his name is, and he took this really personal. Like this was like I'm defending the people of Chicago by this. I mean, you can tell in his interview on CNN that he was really serious about making sure that this was put out there that this ain't happening. So yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle.
Yeah, Billy Bob all over the world getting a butt toe into.
By the way,
James was telling me that because he and Don Lemon are friends. Okay. Uh-huh. So on CNN, Don Lemon was pissed. He was not happy to be put out there like that. Okay, because he said on the air that Jussie's agent, he talked to Jussie that night. And his agent had called him and told him, hey, he had just been assaulted. I've got a story for you. Like when all of it starts to unravel, you see this seems like a middle school production that has gone terribly wrong. Like even the timeline of it all. You don't call while you're sitting in the emergency room with Don Lemon and be like, bro, I got this story. You just got his ass beat around the corner, run it. Like, get it together. Like Don was not happy about that. And last night he was reporting on the updates and his the side eye was real. It was like all over his face. If he did everything but clench his teeth as he was talking like in the Justin Smollett situation. Like I love me some Don Lemon. He done came over. We done invited him to our side again. So I'm here for Don Lemon. And he killed it last night talking about this situation. So yeah, it's rough out here. It's rough. I want to know why he did it because the money can't do it. Like the backlash of where is he now? You know what I mean? Like, what is he really gonna be able to do at this point after it's all said and done? What is you gonna do? Help us understand.
Be juicy.
I don't.
Yeah, Juicy, tell me.
That's
That's what he gonna do. That's what he gonna do. All right, so
Juicy got to spend the night in jail, boy. That's gonna be something.
All right, so let me go. I got two type of people now. So this.
Yeah, James, welcome to the future. Yeah, brown skin. Girl, you know I love you. Brown skin. Girl, you blow my mind when you do this every time you say brown skin. Oh yeah, Hey baby, sit back and relax a while. You've been working all day, baby. Now it's time for daddy to make you smile. I'm already in jacuzzi with some bubbles. Take a great supper. Sit back down, take nothing. And I'm about to do the talking with my hands. Close your mouth, lay it down. I'm about to rub on that girl, you know I love you. Girl, you blow my mind, you do this every time. Oh yeah, okay. Now I'ma do the thing that you like. I'ma light them candles, girl, and cut off the light. You know I got them whipped cream on the side. I'ma spread it all on you, don't you fight. Get drinking all the fun side. Now it's going round in circles. I'ma take it slow, baby girl, I won't hurt you. Hold on tight, baby. Girl, tonight, baby. We gon' make love all night. I promise I'm gonna give it to you right. Brown skin. Girl, you know I love you. Brown skin. Girl, you blow my mind and you do this every time you say brown skin. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. just changed. Girl, I'll give you all you need. Stay with me, girl, please don't you leave. I'm laying on my knees, begging you, please. You're not in my hands, still I can't breathe. Around here. Yeah. Girl, you know I love you round there. Girl, you blow my mind. You do this every time it's round there. Oh yeah, welcome to the future.
All right, real quick, let me say that segment was brought to you by the Level Up Conference, which is the 2019 Global Drive Conference in Chicago. I would love to see each and every one of you all there. We right now still have the option available for you to pay in installments, but we're going to be teaching you how to level up in the areas of faith, family, and finance. So you definitely want to make sure that you are there at the 2019 Level Up Conference. To register, go to our website, www.levelupchicago.com. Again, that's www.levelupchicago.com, and you can get all the information back. I promise you, it is a weekend packed. Also, today I released that we are offering 30 or 29 vendors, and each vendor spot is usually $300, but for the next 10 vendors who sign up, I'm going to take $100 off of your spot. Do it ASAP before those.
Come on, y'all know y'all need that $100 off. Come on, vendor.
The website, or you can see myself or Q, and we will get it up. But the vendor packet is on the website, levelupchicago.com. All right, Kills, hot topic. What we got?
Hey, I'm still feeling that brown skin though.
You aren't the only one.
Right. I'm like, I need a Buddha next time we play that. We might have to put the rap so I can
body roll.
Sorry, Jesus. I had to.
Well, so we had a very interesting hot topic that went on right after our show last week, and I said this will be the hot topic for this week. So I'm going to read the scenario, and it says, a guy asks girlfriend what she wants for her birthday. She tells him, he says, okay. Her birthday comes, and he gives her something other than what she asked for. She says, thank you. The following weekend, she went out and bought what she told him she wanted for herself. He saw that she bought it and called her ungrateful and said she didn't appreciate his efforts. Who was wrong and why? So I'm going to go to Winfred first. Who was wrong and why?
So let me say this. She was wrong. But let me tell you why. Hold on. She was wrong because anytime somebody like look on your face like, what?
I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
To not show appreciation, to be upset when somebody spends their hard-earned money on you, is to not be appreciative. It's not right. To you, if somebody goes and they work their butt off or whatever to buy you a gift, and you act funny about it, you wrong. Now, he's stupid for not catching context clues and getting her what she said, but she wrong. She wrong. Be appreciative.
Where did it say she was not
appreciative?
Right. She never even addressed it with him. She says thank you and then goes forward and purchases her own gift. And you imply that she's ungrateful just because she then goes and gets her own. She never said no.
She's ungrateful because she puts the post up about it, questioning whether or not she agrees.
Her friend put that up, I thought. Wasn't that a third party type of post? And wait a minute, it don't even matter. Like the fact that she asked about it after the fact does not make her ungrateful. Because that had already been spoken at that point. He had already called her ungrateful prior to her posting about the situation. Now she's perplexed and wants to know, is she tripping, which is why she posted. You can be mad that she posted. Don't do dumb shit that gets you posted about. But you know what I mean? Because he was look, listen, nah, bruh.
and on the Q, what do you think about it, Q?
Right, already going. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think he is wrong. And I think he's wrong because he asked her what she wanted and then proceeded to get something different, which is perfectly fine. What she wanted very well could have been out of his price range, and he decided to get her something different. Or whatever reason, he may not have liked what she said she wanted for her own personal self and opted to get her something different. Fine. That was your choice. Both of those things were your choice, to ask her and then to do what you wanted to do. So now that she's decided to go forth and get what she wanted in the very first place and she didn't bring it up again. She didn't say, well, I didn't ask for this, like the other video we saw. She didn't show out. She just said thank you, like a lady is supposed to do, and moved on about her life and got what she wanted to have. I don't see her ungrateful. I think he's kind of childish for trying to make her feel bad about receiving a gift on her birthday. Give the damn gift and shut up about it. If that's the case, it ain't for you. Like, how you gonna feel bad about that? She didn't throw it.
I just don't understand how someone buying something for themselves can be ungrateful. Like, was she supposed to wait? Was it too soon? She's supposed to wait 2 weeks, not 1 week, to buy what she wanted. I don't understand how her going to get what she wanted without saying anything negative about his gift, his little gift. You know,
gift.
She went and got what she wanted. I do not understand.
What you got? His little gift.
Right. Don't ask me what I want if you're not gonna get it for me. I remember, and this is totally out of context, but I remember one Christmas, my parents asking me what did I want. I told them I wanted a Nintendo 64 or a leather coat. And when they bought that leather coat, I thought I was gonna get the Nintendo 64 too, and I was pissed. Don't ask me what I want if you not gonna get what I want.
Both of them.
You know, he was definitely wrong for even having he was wrong for even getting mad. Like, why are you even that invested into the gift if you wasn't gonna get it in the first place? But I did want to go to the post because the first comment on the post says, neither were wrong. However, as a woman, you have to be mindful that with alpha males, you could send the wrong message with how you go about doing things. And I thought that comment was very interesting.
That's a way to put it.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't agree with that comment at all.
I had to do the emoji.
Yeah,
as an alpha male, I don't agree with that.
I'm doing the sharp dude, whatever that one is, whoever his name is, I'm doing that. No, I ain't here for that.
No, I understand our ego is fragile, but I mean, nah.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm trying to find the comment. Somebody Let's see.
So while Kels is looking for the comments, you guys, Wynn has posted a poll on screen. So please cast your vote for if you feel old girl was ungrateful or not. Who was wrong? Cast your vote. So far, it looks like she's ungrateful, like 100% ungrateful. I'm gonna need y'all. I think it's ungrateful. Is that what it says?
One person that said something. That's probably why.
Okay.
No, it's not ungrateful. Sorry, I was reversed. It's not ungrateful. Little screen got my glasses off. My bad.
So we had a member that gave an example. He says, I was involved in a similar situation. The only difference was I asked her to give me an idea what she wanted. She wanted an Apple iPad. I went to the store and they were all out of iPads. So I bought her clothing and jewelry to hold her over. She ordered the iPad for herself online about a day later. I didn't mention her being ungrateful at all because that would have been a speculation. She saved me some money by being thirsty and independent because I was going to get the iPad also. I'm guessing she was upset. The reality is it showed me she had no patience.
So much wrong with that comment.
Like, I need an outline to go to pick it piece by piece. Like, I'm trying to figure, where'd you get thirsty and independent? Like, people have gotten so, y'all know I have this argument all the time. Men have gotten so antsy and insecure behind the word independent. It's ridiculous. Like, they word now. Like, they want to throw the I word up anytime something doesn't go their way.
Yeah. And my response to that was, if you go to Best Buy today and she can go online and order it tomorrow, what was wrong with you? Like, it wasn't sold out. You were lazy and stopped looking. You went to one spot and go online and order that iPad the very next day. Where was your antenna, homie? How was she thirsty? How's she thirsty and you not lazy? Right. Like, that was my response to that. She was thirsty and independent, but you weren't proactive. You waited till the day before her birthday to go look for the iPad. Birthday's on the same day every year, homie.
I'm not agreeing that she was thirsty and independent. I can't go with you there, bro. I can't.
But that lets you see, to me, inside the psyche of a lot of men. I ain't gonna say a lot of some men's mind for them to even take it that far.
Yeah.
You mad because somebody went and bought something for themselves, even if they got if it was 2 iPads, you know what I mean? So what?
Okay, so let me say this. I think I agree that she's not thirsty and independent for doing it. Mm-hmm. I agree that unless now and again the background that I don't have is, did he tell her? You know, he said he didn't tell her, but like at some point there could have been some discussion to say like, the iPad was sold out, I'm getting this for you. But if he didn't do that, like,
yep. How was she supposed to know?
I would still have hope that if that were me in that scenario, I would have seen her order the iPad and be like, hey, don't get it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to make us win in this argument, and it's not working. However, she's not thirsty.
But how you gonna even say she not patient? Like, if you got her something else, she gonna figure that you not gonna get it unless you say, hey, I ordered this iPad, sorry it didn't come in, so I got you this instead. If you didn't tell her, how's that not patient?
I don't know who's gonna turn down double birthday gifts, like jewelry and an iPad.
Yeah. Like, hashtag winning.
Yeah,
and y'all don't forget
to little gift.
Don't forget to take the poll. Don't forget to take the poll that we posted about this hot topic. But yeah, this is crazy. Let's go back to some. Let's see. It was a couple of more comments that I done lost. My bad. Let's see. So. Now this comment says this post truly shows how lack of communication can be detrimental to a relationship, any kind of relationship. Because to me, if he wanted to call her ungrateful, we still don't know what his explanation is for calling her ungrateful.
He just mad, girl. He just
Right. I'm
mad.
like, you just mad. Did you not want her to get what she wanted because you didn't buy it?
He thought she was ungrateful because she went out and didn't take the time. Now again, had there been some communication where he said, "I'm gonna get it later," and she did it, then that's different.
Mhm.
But he didn't say, "I'm gonna get this for you later."
Right. That's why I was like, I don't understand why he automatically went to the ungrateful mode if you never, if it wasn't communicated.
I agree.
Yep. And especially from the gender who says we're not mind readers. That is like the whole
Yeah. Hey.
way that y'all move when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Hey.
No, I mean positivity, bro. Like,
Use my words in business. Hey, we're not gonna have that here.
no. Those your toes I'm tiptoeing on. Yeah. Like, I mean, we're not like, how are we supposed to know that? Birthday one day. How am I supposed to know it's supposed to be gifts on another day? I don't know that.
Right. If you don't say nothing. Because it could have been solved if he would have said, hey, I can't get it right now, or you got something else coming later or something. But she waited till the weekend and she didn't see no more gifts. I mean, it wasn't a scavenger hunt. I mean, because I know me, I would do the exact same thing. I would have done the exact same thing here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would have got my own gift. Like, I just don't understand. I do not understand it. It was one more comment that I wanted to share. See what you guys think about it. So this comment says, dude sounds like a control freak. Stay with him and he's going to be stalking you at work in no time.
Oh, yeah.
So, could it just be an issue of control? You couldn't control what she wanted for her birthday, so therefore you got mad and threw a tantrum like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like what it boils down to, to me too.
Don't forget, hey, I know you guys are giving your comments on the live. Please continue to do that. But if anybody wants to call in and give us your thoughts, you can. The number is 929-477-2304. Again, 929-477-2304. You can give us a call and tell us your question and your comments. So.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I couldn't even believe how people were that there were even men, including Mr. Panda himself, that was agreeing with this thought process.
I agree. Like I said, I do agree that, again, if he had said it, yeah, I do agree that, like I said, that there was a little bit of, I think she was wrong in terms of that. But again, he didn't communicate it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you messed up. You got to communicate.
So just expanding on that, have y'all gotten gifts? Have y'all been in this situation at all? In real life?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where I was a gift for somebody.
They you asked for a gift and they didn't get it for you, so you went and got it yourself. And you didn't get the problem. So what happened?
I don't go out the next. Yes, I'll answer it. Yes. So early in our relationship, we were broke, and a part of my taste hadn't realized that yet. So I would often request things that just didn't make any sense for our reality. And after a while, it took me a while to realize that I was doing too much in some regard, because I was spoiled. I was a daddy's girl. But I would then go out and purchase those gifts later on. And I won't say it's the next day or anything like that. But yeah, I would go get those things for myself. But I would never, I don't downplay the fact that I got something different than what I wanted, though. Because a gift is a gift. I'm appreciative. But don't talk crazy to me when you see me come in with my new stuff that I told you I wanted in the first place, because it's still my birthday and I can gift me. Like, that's the thing, so it has happened. It's how you handle it, which I think old girl in the scenario handled it like a lady. She did exactly what she was supposed to. I would have done the same thing. Thank you. And then the next opportunity I had to go out and take care of that, I'm going to get my gift if I want it. It's my birthday.
What you think?
That whole hold you over should be good for random gifts. Just I'm thinking of you gifts. Your birthday should be specific.
Right, yeah, you should prepare for it.
Yes.
Prepare for it. So when have you been in that situation where you didn't get what you wanted?
Wayne just wants some chicken. He don't want much. Just fry him some chicken.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm easy. Like I'm super easy for stuff like that. Like I'm easy.
I mean, I'm like, I don't even think I've ever even gotten anything on my birthday. Like, not from a.
I got an iPad once. Yeah, like I mean, I don't ask for things. I really don't ask for stuff, so that's probably the problem. So note to whoever is.
Like, I think I've gotten a gift maybe on Valentine's one time, and it was like because I wanted Michael Jackson experience, like on a game or something. So I'm like, I don't even count that. So yeah, I haven't been in this situation, but I know that if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I cake with you that night and be thankful that night. It's the best gift in the world, and then go get what I deserve that week.
Right. Yeah.
I don't see nothing. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. But it's just another example of how different some men and women think on things like this. Like something that small might cause a rift in their whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just think that's so small, so minute. Like I would think a man would appreciate a woman that could be able to go out and buy what she wants.
Yeah, but again, good, very good point. So, Kels, here's the problem. Let's just be clear.
Mm-hmm.
As a man, we will never, ever, ever not want to be able to do. And so the fact that you can do for yourself and we can't is for most of us, is a huge blow to our ego. And it really magnifies the fact that we not own our stuff like we could be or should or supposed to. And it does take a level of maturity on both the male and the female in the relationship to say, for him to say, listen, this is not the only worth or value I have in this relationship. And for her to express that, because there are some people that we know that's based their sole worth on how much money he makes and how much money he provides. And we've seen the whole, if I got to pay 50% of the bill, he can't be the head. He a roommate. He ain't, like all of that kind of trash. But so we see that. That's a thing. So it takes both people to say, listen, your value is not in how much money you make. Your value is in other stuff too. There's a whole bunch of other things you do as a man, as a woman, than cook, clean, ladies, domestic stuff, and man go and make work. Like those, there's different, whole bunch of other stuff you could do. But a lot of us haven't gotten to that point yet. A lot of us are still looking like.
Right, and that's crazy because to me, if we progress so much as to where everything is 50-50 in relationships, then I don't even know how would this even, hurt a man's ego. So you can't have it both ways. Either you're gonna be
I don't think we have
a traditional couple where you got traditional gender roles, or you not.
I think that in most relationships, most people, whether we admit it or not, there's still a morph of, in some areas we expect traditional gender roles, and in some areas we don't. For example, I think when it comes to money, most women are okay. I think there's still a lot of women, I'm going to say all, there's a good enough women who will say, no, I'm not going to use money. There are a lot of women who will say cutting grass, doing yard work, changing the oil. Like if I'm single, it's something I got to do, but I'd much rather have a man do that stuff. And there are a lot of men who will say, when it comes to certain domestic functions, I would much prefer a woman do. Like we're okay in those kinds of things, having gender roles. But when it comes to, I think we say that we don't want those gender roles. We're saying we don't want the hierarchy of whatever the man says is what goes. You don't have a voice. What you say doesn't matter because even if it's different than what I think, because I'm the man, so sit down and be the one. I think in that area, we don't want specific gender roles.
Mhm.
We agree. So I don't see where the issue is. I think most women would agree with what you just said. So when we have the fight about the 50-50, the sharing of the roles and all that, that blows my mind. And even when you led with your first comment a few minutes ago about how men see us say, XYZ thing, and this is what you think you all want, that works for us as well. You know what I'm saying? That same thing happens for us. So like what Kel said earlier, we really don't know where that ego comes into play, because we hear you guys say, I don't want no woman expecting me to pay everything. I ain't no way I'm gonna be with a woman that's 50-50 down the middle. I ain't carrying no woman because she ain't taking my money and blah, 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 blah. But then get mad and we're ungrateful when we are, keep your going. I got my iPad.
I agree. I hear you. I think go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't cut you off.
No, you're fine. I'm just like, it's hard to navigate the same thing. We're all in choppy waters with that. But like, just in the counter of what you said, like we all agree that there's got to be a change. And it seems like we want to change the same things, but we still argue about it. Like it's a constant argument.
I think as a man, I'm sorry, Kel, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing that all the time that we still have these same arguments. Yeah. But you can't have the 50-50 argument on one post and then your ego is fragile on the next.
Yes.
I think here's what I think it boils down to. I think as a man, even though most men will say stuff like, I don't want her taking all my money, yada, yada, all that stuff that you always just saying. I think it boils down to having the ability to do it. So I can, even if you do pay 50-50, the fact that that's not something that you have to do, but that's how we choose to do it, is different from, as a man, we have to do it because as a man, I don't make enough money to support my wife, to feed my family if her salary is gone. Mm-hmm. So I think it's the ability to do it, not so much just the fact to do it. And secondly, I'm not the type of man that feels like that. I don't care what nobody say. I want to pay all the bills. I want to pay all the bills. Again, that's my ego. I know my ego. Mm-hmm. I'm totally okay. If it's not there, like I'll get over it. But
the desire is there.
Your boy, I want you to be able to sit up and just look cute and do whatever you want to do. I want your money to go into savings and the 401k. I want to travel on your salary. Mm-hmm. But in times that I haven't been able to, I'm not gonna lie and stuff and tell you when I was married and couldn't do it, man, my little ego was hurt. my pride was hurt. I can't even lie to you.
And even to what you're saying, a lot of women, I know, like me, I feel like I have both the traditional roles and want to be progressive and all that. But I would appreciate a man who just wants to do it, even if he can't. Mm-hmm. For you to say, I want to do this, but I'm falling short, would speak volumes more than just having an attitude because you couldn't give me the gift I wanted. You know what I mean? Like I would rather have that open conversation where a man wants to and can't than to, scream that everything needs to be equal and then you have an attitude because I buy something for myself. Yeah. We have a live comment, let's see, from Chan. Says that whole scenario was utterly ridiculous. One of the guys gave his own personal example, almost identical to the scenario, but he said his woman was being thirsty for buying the gift. Mm-hmm. He didn't get her after asking her what she wanted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we done ran him over the call. Over the call for that thirsty comment. Like, I can't even understand how it's just weird for that even to come up and that, it be an issue, something that small for a woman buying herself a gift. That's just crazy. Do you think that if the role was reversed and the woman bought the man the gift and he went out and bought himself, you know, bought him a gift, he did, and he wanted something else, and he went out and got it, that we would trip like that?
I think it depends on how connected she was to that gift. If she didn't put a lot of thought into it and went out and just grabbed him something and he went and still got something else, I don't think she would really care. But if she went through a lot to really go through something for him and make him, you know, get him something, and he decided to go get something else, I can see a woman's feelings being hurt because we connect ourselves to the giving. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot to us to give him something. You know what I mean? Especially if it's more than, you know, because people always say we only giving sex. You know what I'm saying? Like if she's gone out and gotten something, she's put thought into something and gotten it, and then he's like, oh, thanks. You know, and then she sees him with something else the next time, then I can see her feelings being hurt. But I would tell her the same thing I would tell homeboy. If you asked him what he wanted and he plainly stated what he wanted, and you chose to go do some warm and fuzzy romantic female mess that makes you feel good, and he still goes and gets something else, you just got to cry in the car, sweetie, because that's not what he wanted. And do that on a regular day. Do that on a random Thursday when he going to go hoop or something. But on his birthday, he wanted the game. Get him the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about you on someone's birthday.
Yeah, I hate to cut you off, but time has wound down.
Yeah.
I just wanted to remind you that the Hot Topic is brought to you by Curvy Kitten Clothing, where self-reflection is perfection. Remember that Curvy Kitten is more than a clothing line. It's a movement to realize that loving all of your curves, no matter what size, is the foundation for loving each other. So now it's time for the next song by one of my sorors, Z5.
My jam.
Leah Joel. Control Freak. Very pretty.
What is it that you see that you want from me? Why not let me be yours? I say that I am yours and I will follow. But there's one thing I can't let go. There's something that I can feel, something wanna hide it, but I'm just thinking something that I am in it, but for minutes in your real thing, and deeper with the real in reality. I wanna do it my way, 'cause I'm a control freak.
Hey.
I'm a control freak. Yeah, I'm a control freak. Come in and see your way better. 'Cause I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. Yes, I'm a control freak. Maybe 'cause I'm afraid it's killing me. I'm going insane. I cannot believe what you require me to do. Maybe I'm crazy, or should it be this hard? I sit here, I am. Lord, have your will. My cross to bear, too much Lord, I need your help. So there's something that I can feel, and I'm just wanna hide it, but I'm just thinking something that I am feeling, but for minutes, it's so real, it's so real, in reality, I wanna do it my way, 'cause I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. Yeah, I'm a control freak. Help me to feel your way better. 'Cause I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. Yes, I'm a control freak. Maybe 'cause I'm afraid it's killing me. I'm going insane. But I do have a good for me. Even though I cannot see, I'll trust you, Lord. And though I don't know where I'm going, me. Even though I cannot see, I'll trust you, Lord.
Ah, I love that jam. Love that jam.
We
It's like an original song.
you on the background vocals.
Right.
It's been a while, right? Yeah, I had to move and everything. Shut up, Will. Got my 5 heartbeats going. I'm a dream girl today. Okay, I got her. I'll be Destiny's Children for Leah Joelle. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, so it is now time for tonight's main topic, and we are doing part 2 from last week. We are talking about the men's on this fine Tuesday. This segment is brought to you by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is always our specialty. You can get your products at elegancebydesign.com. That's design with a Z. Right now. All right. So tonight we are discussing how men change throughout a marriage or a long-term relationship. I feel like I always need to put that little disclaimer, that little quotes to the side of there, because everyone doesn't choose marriage, but we still want to do life. So with that being said, we are going to discuss the changes that men can go through while in a relationship. I was actually glad Kels added this part to our agenda. She was like, let's talk about this. And I was glad that she added this to the agenda, mostly because I think men get a bad rap as far as growth is concerned. We give men the time from high school through college graduation to get their life together. They might get a little 5 or so year span to play around a little bit after they graduate to figure life out. But from there on, we kind of think the man that we get is the man that he should be ready when we get him, aside from the upgrades that we feel he needs to have. But we'll do that part. You know what I'm saying? So,
we can end the segment right there. We just end it right there.
I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Because that is the truth. I'm a woman, and I know that. I got into that same thing. So we do that. Sorry, ladies. It's a thing. It's the truth. But I think that, and I had to recognize this. I can shut up. I can say that because that's a lesson that I myself had to learn. Okay. With my own whole husband, I had to recognize that even after they get a handle on adulting, there's still that level, there's still that space that men kind of have to figure out what their grown man self is going to be. And that's often something that we will hide as midlife crises, or we'll cover, you know what I mean, as a crisis, or them trying to accommodate for something else or whatever. But it could just be them figuring themselves out. Men growth isn't as celebrated as women's growth. And it's interesting in relationships because we often can go a little left with that. But I'm a hush, and I'm sure that will come up.
No. Keep going.
No. We're gonna well round this conversation. We're gonna have a full circle conversation. But I do. There's some room for us to have that conversation. As far as men and growth. Kels, what you think?
We can shut it down.
You know, when you were talking, right? It did make me think about that because I was like, oftentimes when men are going through changes, like women, we can go through those changes. We can change our hair, we can change our body, we can be depressed, we can do all this stuff, have all these epiphanies. And if a man does anything out of the ordinary, as the women, we are usually jumping down their throat. Yep. We think something is wrong. You cheating.
Yep. You
got another family on the side. You going through a midlife crisis. Like, that's it. Yep. We do not give that same leeway or even give appreciation if a man is changing, because he may change for the better. And I know, it's been so long since I've been in a long-term relationship, but just thinking about even in the past, I can see where I've probably, no, I ain't gonna even take it back because they were cheating.
Well, you was right there.
Yeah,
right
there. The devil says.
Nope, not today. But I will say that even through having very close male friendships, I've probably not been the best friend when they have been going through the change where it was something that could help them grow. That I probably condemned them or sided with their women because it was something different. So that's a very good point. I mean, that's an eye opener even for me. That I will try my best if I'm not forever single to remember that and not just jump to something being wrong. Because I mean, honestly, you think something is wrong when a man does something different. If he tries to change his life or even try something different, we automatically think that it's something wrong with him and not him just growing.
Yep.
So
when what you got? Because
right, okay, he gonna be quiet.
Listen, I don't have anything else to add. I just want to say amen. The doors of the church are open. With everyone that comes to the altar.
Yeah.
No,
I do have a question for you, Win, on this topic. And it's just simply because, well, if it's too deep, you know how to answer. Do you think that with you being, being married so long and then going through where the marriage ended, do you think that some of that was just your growth as a man that maybe was taken the wrong way by your ex?
Yes and no. So yes, I do think that there was some. I think that. Okay, good question. So so my personal experience on this would be that yes, there was some change. There was some change in me that happened that she took wrong, but I was a whole. I did not communicate. I didn't know how to communicate what was going on. So it left her to do what most of us do, and that is to make assumptions and to try to figure out, okay, so maybe he's feeling like this, so I'll do this. And when I didn't respond to that, okay, that ain't it. So let me try this. And it didn't work. And so there were a lot of things that were going on in me. I was at that age where I was questioning, that all men have that question about, am I where I'm supposed to be at this age? And of course, the answer is always no. So then you start wondering, what am I doing with my life? And how am I going to change it? And then I started looking like other things to blame. Like, it's her, it's me, it's this, it's that, it's this. And I didn't communicate really where I was. And then when I attempted to do it, I do think that she took some things the wrong way and exacerbated, because then when you do that, you inevitably, your assumptions always in relationships, your assumptions or thinking is always a product of where you are. And 90% of the time, it's always in direct conflict with whatever is going on in the other person. And her bad assumptions up against my personal insecurities, inferiority, come together, and it just created a perfect storm. That's really all. That's what happens. And pretty much any marriage, that's what's gonna happen. That's what happens. And so it is and so instead of me understanding, and people tried to tell me, understanding that this was just a season, suck it up, do what you got to do way to get through it. I didn't do that. And so, we didn't do that. I can speak for me. I didn't do that. And when I didn't do that, it then led to a domino effect of, let's be defensive, let's stop talking. And, and then once you stop talking,
that's a wrap.
Game over. You stop talking to each other, and then I would do stuff. I'm gonna tell this and I'm gonna move on. I got to a point where it got so bad for me where I could literally, I could be, and I'm just using you two as an example. Like, I could sit here and be laughing and joking and playing with y'all like we are now, and she would walk into the room, and it would be like an evil spirit just jumped on me, and I would turn into this angry individual and I would not talk. And she could hear me. So imagine that. Imagine you hearing your husband, your boyfriend laughing and key, and he, yeah, that's funny. As soon as you walk in the room, they're like, hey.
Here she is. Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
It's,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and doing that over a period of time, it's like, you know what? I don't need this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, like I said, in my situation, you throw a brand new baby. Like we had just had, we had recently just had Trey, so he was a baby. We had just moved to Michigan. She had just started a new job. I was just starting graduate school. You know, at the time, this is when MOT was picking up, and we were trying to fix all of that. So she had issues with that. Kels, if you remember me, you had a couple of conversations.
Yeah.
Like all of that was happening. I'm still preaching and traveling, and she didn't want me to do that. So it was just a perfect storm of stuff happening that in the midst of all of that just kind of created a monster. So yeah. To answer your question.
I can absolutely see that being a thing. Thank you for sharing that, because that was real. That was real. And I think when change is always sudden, it feels sudden. It's not very sudden. Rarely is change in a spouse sudden, especially with someone you've been with long term. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. So for example, my own husband has always been in a musical family, was raised in a musical family. Okay. Like his dad travels and sings, national recording artist, all this other stuff. His brother is a rapper, been in the game for a while doing his thing. James had never, the entire time that we had been dating, ever really expressed an interest or love for music. Then all of a sudden, a mixing board shows up. Then another laptop. Then Amazon delivers big ass speakers that stand knee high to me. And he's slowly piecing together a studio that sits at the edge of our bed now. So I'm thinking, what the hell is happening here? This is one, an expensive ass hobby. Two, who's going to teach you how to do all of this stuff? Like, I'm going through all of those assumptions that you talked about in your brain, in my brain, because I'm not communicating what is happening right now. I'm not asking what's happening. So I remember we got into a thing because I had come home and I was wondering, I'm asking like, how was your day? What'd you do? He was like, yeah, I was in the studio, I was on the board, and I'm looking at him like, that's what you did today? Like, in the studio, like, yeah. Oh yeah, but we got laundry. And I'm like, he tells me, and he flat out told me, you act like this is a hobby for me. This is what I want to do. But he had never communicated that this was his passion. Like, this is what he wanted to do. And when he said that to me, oh my God, my feelings were so hurt, because James has traveled down so many different roads with me, depending upon where my passion falls on the day. Yeah. And he has brought in sewing machines that I ain't sewed one damn shirt. Okay. Nothing. I got a mannequin standing right here, right now, wearing clothes that I don't wear just because I want to act like it's doing something. Okay. So when he told me that I was basically minimalizing his dream that he has now discovered and he's so excited about, and I've reduced it to a hobby. Oh my God. I feel like a terrible wife. Like, I felt terrible by him saying that, but he was real. That was honest. And I had to apologize for that. And then I had to take that ride with him. Now I will sit down there in that studio with him for hours and listen to him make music, and he's good. If I had dashed that in him, had that become a fight for us, then he would have been sneaking off to a studio. You know what I'm saying? I would have had less husband, because he was at the foot of my bed. He ain't nowhere. He in a room full of dudes with a bunch of boppers bobbing around doing dumb stuff. He is at the foot of the bed, creating a legacy for our family and doing something productive that he loves and is good at. How can you knock that? So that is an example of when change can actually be a good thing. And had I continued to assume that he was wasting his time, wasting our money, could be doing something more productive, he could be at a corporate job, because my husband is so not cut out for corporate. That ain't what he is built to do ever, not at all. You know what I'm saying? Into those spaces, all that would have done was tore us apart. Like, that would have been the end of us, knowing how much he loves doing what he does now. So, like, we have to allow our spouses that room to figure out where they are, because he loves me better. now that he's discovered what his thing is and he's able to live in that, I'm a happy woman. Like, we are in a whole different space than we've been now. And I didn't even think that maybe it's because he was looking for who he was. He didn't feel like what Wynn said, that ego. You know what I mean? That I'm taking care. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I have purpose. Maybe he didn't have that until then.
You didn't find the purpose.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It was like, now I know what I'm going to do. Let me go. And now you trying to take away.
Yeah.
And in my scenario, Kels, that was a big issue. Like, I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but we had the argument like one time when she's like, I want you to stop preaching. It's like, what?
What?
I bet.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Stop breathing. What? You know,
Yeah.
breathing?
Yeah.
No.
And I know it's, and in retrospect, and look, I call Dre like, Dre. I'm gonna tell y'all how cold Dre was like. Stop. I'm like, die. He's like,
Hang up this damn phone, Dre.
I would do it if the queen asked me. I'm not you. Bye.
Right.
In retrospect, after I calmed down, I'm like, now I had the process again. I was changing. She didn't understand the change. I didn't communicate it well.
Oh, that is so true, though. It's so right.
Y'all don't understand. I like, look, Dre, I know you. I stopped talking to Dre for about a month. I was just like,
like, we can't even be friends no more.
Yeah.
but I get it. I got it later on. Like, see what he's trying to say. Understand what he's trying to, and yeah. So, but so it's difficult because now you're asking us to change. Well, you're asking us to do the very things that most of us are not good at. Mm-hmm. We don't understand. So, we grow up with this paradigm, and in this paradigm of who we think we're going to be and who we don't think we're going to be and what we think we're going to be able to do. And when those plans go, like, we don't ever understand that those plans can go wrong or be delayed or change. And so now it's like, what I'm supposed to do? Like, everything in me says I'm supposed to have a corporate job, or I'm supposed to, but that's not what I feel. Like, I don't feel good doing that. And it's literally the best way I've described it to people is it feels like you are caging the beast. And when you cage the beast long enough, eventually we just either die. Like, I used to grow up wondering, like, how come every man I know that's old just sits there and says nothing? Right. Like, I'd be like, why don't you talk? I got nothing to say. Yeah. Like this man, and clearly what I found out was, again, is in a lot of instances, and not every, in a lot of instances, it was that the dreams of these men had completely been taken from them, or they had not realized their dreams. And so because they had not realized their dreams, to them it was like, now I'm just existing, I'm not living.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized that, I'm like, again, you don't want that. You want to live. You want to get whatever it is that you dream about, whatever you've been thinking. You want to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you suggest when? Because sometimes, even if we are going through changes, we may not recognize ourselves what's actually happening. So, would you what would be your strategy? If you are in a long-term relationship or marriage and, there's some things happening and you don't even understand them, like, what do you suggest a person would do?
Like the woman?
Either one, the woman or the man.
So I would say for the man, it would be to first identify exactly, even if you don't know what you're feeling, I would say just keep talking. Mm-hmm. Like, just keep talking it out. Like, keep talking it out. Because a lot of us are like we're direct process, but we process slowly sometimes. And so like sometimes it's gonna take me a minute to realize what's really bothering me is because let me say this, a lot of times not the like we were talking about earlier, it's not that we're gonna make enough money. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's also that we're not doing the thing that we love. So it takes us to figure out what am I feeling? Do I feel insecure? Do I feel incomplete? Do I feel like I haven't found my purpose? Do I feel like I'm in my purpose, but like I'm not making any money? Do I feel like I don't? And it takes us a minute to sometimes like dig.
Yeah.
So I would say to the man, talking until it comes out, until it comes up, and then when it comes up, you'll know because it's like, oh, this is what I'm trying to get to. To the wife, girlfriend, I would say, give him same thing you want. Give him space to work through all of that. Meaning, don't try to fix it. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to, now. Granted, you want to provide boundaries. Like when I say boundaries, I mean like don't let us do something that's going to be detrimental to our health, to our marriage. Unless that's something I'll agree to. And, okay, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like give us some boundaries that say, okay, hey, you're going too far. Come on back. But while you're exploring, go ahead and do what you got to do. Because and then don't take it personal. Like because this is not an indictment against you. This is us trying to find us. And so as we find us, then it's like, okay, now I know. Like for us, it's like once I experience whatever my purpose is, whatever I was born, like there is a thing every man was born to do. And once we figure it out, we're good. We're good. So I would say that would be the other thing. The last thing I would say is like find joy in the process. Because even though that process is difficult, it's like you're really starting to get for who this person is. So like take that as an opportunity to fall in love with one another again. And if you position it that way, if you look at it that way, if you try to experience it that way, like, you know what? I thought you were this type of person, but you really like this. I like that. You know what I mean? Like fall in love, rediscover who he is again, hold into that person who he used to be or who you thought he was, or that box that you have put him in. I think it's good. Like it's good because ultimately we want your support. And if we love you, your affirmation means everything. Just like when you don't affirm us, it means everything. So the worst thing you could do is to tear us down.
So true. That's real good. You just confirmed a lot of what we're gonna share in the next segment. Because this is something, especially since this is part 2. We've covered both sides of this. And I think when Kels and I are both like, yep. You know what I mean? Women hearing those tips because they definitely qualify for women as well. And if anything, I think it speaks to the humanity of all of us. And that we all need essentially the same thing. We all need purpose. We all need to know that we matter, that the people that we love give a damn about the things that we're doing and the changes that we're making, the things that bring us joy. Like, I think that this is something, we make a lot of things gender specific that really cover everybody. You know what I mean? It's like the fact that we can even separate a man's growth from a woman's growth. That they are different in how we go about those changes. But the need for growth, the inevitability of growth, it shouldn't be as mind-boggling as it seems to be to all of us. Like we get it, they're changing. Like, okay, go with it. You know what I mean? Like,
they're kind of supposed to.
Right. So these are good conversations to have because if anything, it allows us to compare and really share the similarities in us. So that we say, oh, maybe I tripped a little bit. Maybe I kind of made that bigger than it should have been. And they had the same situation I was having. I just put a different color on it and made the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
what I think it really is, I think it's in the moment. It's when we are when we're, I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. When we're not thinking rationally, but we're responding out of emotion only,
Mhm.
that it makes it difficult for us to really process where our person is. Because outside of it, it's easy for us to step back and go, "Oh, I see that now." But in the moment, it's like we can't see that because our emotions are so tied to the scenario that all we see is how we feel.
Yep.
And all we see is how we think about how you're doing whatever you're doing to us. It's not about us. Our emotions oftentimes are wrong. And when that person ain't even thinking about us, it's just that's where they are in the moment, and we gotta let them have their moment.
Got Perfect way to end that segment. The beautiful segue into our following segment. So our final song for this evening is going to be, I have to read it because I know her name is just Freedom by Shayaka. See, last week I did the good name. I did the crazy name. Right. You got it this week.
Back in the day, back in the days, back in the days. I was born in the 90s, like my soul from the 80s, uncontrollable crack babies, through the rock of Mercedes, business, enjoy riding with friends, religious, undisciplined kids, chicken, they worm, looking these streams like they hit, super fly, pelican, propeller, short, shot, dresses, elegant, groom, mighty mouth to the elephants in the room, blessed with the gift of gas, Mike Spears, treacherous, master of servants, I recite my songs to the exorcist. Now here's a little story of a man named Yaka, my garden blended pizza, my whole earth was fell this farmer, I arose coming over poppy seeds, over further than my father did. My saw had jackets, plugged up his banjos. I lived on all the kids, push up by Lakeshore Drive. Time it was relax to Daisy, sitting thinking about how so my mama got that made me crazy. 90s kids forever rain. Was the sex that we was paging, watching Tom and Jerry. Is you is it is you ain't my baby now. Packtown baby, and are you gonna save me? Suicidal bomber kids and 3 soldiers with high ranking take for these. They for the daily. Thankfully, no bullets raised me. I look back on those days and realize that Christ saved me. Eating no beef in the stew. God knew where the recipe would take me. Brainstorming purple rain. See, never lean on that shit. Heavy, eat my business. Safe, wake up, pushing keys. Be count safety freedoms, but I childhood talk. Now turning them into slavery.
Back in the day, people out of town, not anymore. Some days and chills, and so what we do. We used to play and go on, and it was your I still wish I was living. Back in the days, out of town, not anymore. Some days and still wish I was living. We used to play and go on, and it was your I still wish I was living. Think of those days and realize something anymore. Still wishing we could get again. Back in the days when I was loving, not a kid anymore.
Back in the day, back in the day, back in the day, back in the day, back in the day. Freedom, freedom, freedom,
Back in the day, when I was young and I didn't care anymore. But some days I still wish I wasn't here again. We used to play and go on, and the niggas from door. I still wish I wasn't here again. Back in the day, when I was young and I didn't care anymore. But some days I still wish I wasn't here again. We used to play and go on, and the niggas from door. I still wish I wasn't here again. Think of those days and realize something here anymore. Still wishing we could get again. Back in the days when I was young and not a kid anymore.
I always love how that song ends. It fades out like the 90s R&B hip hop type jams. I like the way it fades black on us. Okay, so this is our, what is it, second installment of Sass & Sage for the 2019? I think it is, yes. And I wanted to, I kind of wanted to put a pin in the last 2 shows and kind of nutshell what we've been discussing. And like we just finished talking about, kind of share how we're all kind of alike in this situation, and how we all need different things, and how we can be a help to our mates, you know, because that's part of the job description, that whole helpmate part, when the inevitable change happens. So tonight's Sass and Sage is a change is gonna come, but baby, please don't go, okay? Because that is the kind of feeling that we get when we get in the season of change. So I've got 4 steps, 4 little tips for you guys tonight to kind of put in the back pocket to deal with the inevitable change that's coming with you and your mate. All right, so here we go. Step number 1, recognize the season that your spouse is in. Different situations cause different people to respond and regroup differently. Be connected enough to your partner to realize when something has knocked them off of their proverbial square and they are adjusting to whatever their new normal might be. It could be a job, a friendship, family, spiritual change, physical adjustment, a medical issue, anything. It is our role as a partner to do consistent selflessness checks regarding our mates to ensure we stay connected on purpose and assist however we can in getting them to their best selves. The relationship ends when 2 happy, whole people are committed to providing whatever is necessary to keep the other on track. Rarely is growth about something that you have specifically done within your relationship that they now have to react and respond to. Our spouses still have to go about life individually without us. So they still have to fight battles, fight internal struggles, deal with social situations, move about the life somewhat solo aside from you. So you have to be cognizant of those changes that your spouse is going through. And then just like our children, we have to allow them the room to grow and learn and mature into that next level of who they need to be so that they can be self-sufficient, they can be confident, they can feel good about themselves. That is also still very necessary, if not more so, once we get let out there to the world. Okay? You still need to be the safe place for your spouse to come home and unwind to. So recognize the season and understand that you might not be the catalyst for the change of the season. That's okay. Okay? Number 2, ABCs. And I'm not talking about always be closing. This is for always be communicating. Mm-hmm. One of the main ways that, or the main catalyst for relationship ending is because the other stopped talking. The couple stops talking. They no longer have anything to say to each other, nothing new. It's kind of mundane, same stuff, different day. We see, I know I have, I'm pretty sure you guys have. We grow up and see those funny images of the old couple sitting, say, on the porch or on the couch watching TV. And then there's a cute little caption above that says, after 25 years, you're out of stuff to say. Just live life. Something to that effect. We laugh, we scroll on, or we got kiki and move on and say, yeah, that's goals. I want to be that comfortable with someone that I don't have to say anything. They just get it. That's good in theory and within certain situations. Mm-hmm. But you should always be communicating with your spouse. There should always be something to say to one another. There is always something to learn. Staying connected to your conversations allows you both to somewhat anticipate the changes you will both undoubtedly endure as you grow older. There are many context clues that we drop unknowingly just in how we work things out during regular end-of-day banter back and forth. That conversation can alert an aware spouse that there is a trigger on the other side of a situation that they can begin to anticipate how to best cover their partner as they learn how to cope and deal in that new situation. So when you go silent, you have to recognize that you no longer are even allowing those things that you need to be able to accurately and to be effective in covering your spouse. When you shut that down, you essentially leave them out there to the wolves to do it by themselves. Don't be so caught up in yourself that you don't allow that cover that your spouse needs. Always be communicating with your spouse. All right. So this one might hit some of y'all in some places, and it kind of hit me in mind even as I wrote it down. Okay. Number 3 is know the difference in change and simple revelation. Okay. Be honest enough with yourself to be willing to see the difference in your spouse changing from you finally seeing something that's always been right there. The rose-colored glasses do clear up eventually, y'all. And when we do, it can often shock you because you were perfectly fine with the dream that you had in your mind of this spouse. You were perfectly fine with the idea of this person fulfilling all of your needs and all of your heart's desires. And now all of a sudden you found out that the walk that y'all take around the lake every Sunday after brunch irks the hell out of them. And they would much rather be at home preparing for the work week. But because it's something that you all do, they here for it. It's a thing. So we'll go do the Sunday brunch thing and I'll just make Monday happen, this evening as you're in the shower. Those types of accommodations that happen. And you think, who are they? When did they start doing that? Have you always felt this way? And those types of things will then shape the confidence that you might have because you've never really taken the time to see that person for who they've been the whole time. Not a drastic change. These changes don't always have to be traumatic. They don't have to be negative. They're just different. Those things that you have become used to have now come out, and you're peeling back those layers of your person, and you're thinking, I've never seen that before. I thought I knew everything. You will never know everything. That's the beauty of learning and loving and doing life long term. You'll never know it all. I look at it as leveling up your spice rack. It's little more than going out and role playing or getting some lingerie or doing those things. When you start to peel back the layers of your spouse and seeing those things that you might have missed while you were all warm and fuzzy, but finding out the core and the basics of a person, that's sexy. That is sexy. That spice, that knowing, that falling back in love feeling with someone new and knowing you're not cheating is a beautiful feeling. So try it. It's a leveling up of the same person. It's showing that there is newness in an old thing, in a comfortable thing. Okay. So know the difference and don't let that shock you. Let that excite you. Okay. That one was big. And that one was one that I really had to marinate on. All right. So this one is one that is fun, but it needs to be said. Get busy. It's not always about you or the relationship. I am a tried and true believer, and I know Kels and Wynn have heard me say this for probably damn near 10 years now, that once you become a part of a marriage, a union, a partnership, you do not automatically abandon all of the remnants of who you were before you joined the partnership. I view marriage as an addition to your existing self. Your mate adds to your awesome. It does not supply your awesome. Okay. So if and when your spouse decides it's time for a shift in themselves, get busy. That doesn't necessarily mean you got to adopt your own self-discovery mission or anything as elaborate as that. Okay. But give your partner a guilt-free, safe place to explore without wondering if you're okay or if you're feeling neglected or if you got enough stuff to do. Your spouse isn't responsible for entertaining you. Hell, upgrades are for everybody. So by all means, allow your spouse the space to upgrade how they can love you better by being better. Did you get that? Allow your spouse the space to upgrade themselves so that they can be better and in turn loving you better. That is a win-win. Again, all of this wraps up to a win-win. You are being replaced, so relax. What you provide is unique to only you, okay? They only got you. You're the only boo. You're the only one they want to cuddle up to in the end of the night. They're off doing a thing. That's all. Know and trust that your partner can participate in a change that you don't have to actively facilitate, okay? You don't have to be a participant in the change. You don't have to be the catalyst for it. Just support. Just support. Sometimes that's listening. Sometimes that's showing up. Sometimes that is allowing people to be there that you don't know. You might not want to know. But if those people are necessary for that shift, allow that space. Get outside of yourself to allow that comfort for your spouse to know that you love them enough. You trust them enough to go through this transition and still come back to where you all find your base point. Okay. So use this time to reconnect with an old friend, a hobby, check out something new that you wanted to make some time for, but life kept getting in the way, i.e. Sunday walks around the lake that they don't really want to do anyway. Find something to occupy that space so that when you all do get back together after they're finished discovering and doing their missions throughout the day and you all are laying in the bed or looking across each other at the dinner table, you also have something to share. You also have something to contribute. You may have also learned something about yourself during this time. So now you get the opportunity to come back to the middle and show productivity for the both of you. You get to congratulate each other in the new things that you're doing and the discoveries that you've made. You get to problem solve, troubleshoot some things. You get to bounce some ideas off of each other. How can we do this better? You know what? That's great. You can become each other's cheerleader. And then when it's all said and done, when all of the changes come and gone and everybody is settled into their new happy, healthy, happier selves, you're looking at each other and you can say, thank you. I appreciate you being there for me during that time. I recognize that I might have been a little weird. I might have done some things you might not have gotten it every time, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you for taking the time to give me what I needed. That is so important in a marriage, especially in a marriage. It's long term. When you do life forever, when you make that vow, there is something that comes for a lot of people. There is a peace that settles over them, like, oh, this is done. But for others, there's sometimes, and even for that person that feels the peace, there are different times within a relationship that you don't always feel so certain. You don't always feel so connected to your situation. You don't always feel that you've made the right decision. Those seasons can often shake you up a little bit. So it makes you wonder, is this really where I should be? But if you in those moments can come back and ground yourself with someone who is supportive of those changes, those shifts, whatever it is that you decide to do, because I'm here for you, boo. Whatever it is you need to do, whatever it is you feel you need to do to make yourself better, I got you because I'm here for you. That's the level of give and take. That's the back and forth, the necessary giving of self that those goal couples have, that when they always say, man, I had to forget about me. Like, that's not cliche. That's not just a buzzword that folks say because they think it's gonna get retweeted. If you've really done the work, you know it's not about you. Rarely is it about you, especially after you add children, a business. You've got growing careers. You've got things that take you outside of each other. You've got a life. So you have to be realistic in the fact that you all are still human, whole adult people who have requirements, responsibilities, obligations, dreams, passions that still existed before you ever knew each other. And some have been created since you've met one another, but you should still have the space to do that. You should still be given that's not the word I wanted to use, the license. That's what I want to say. You should still be granted the license to be able to do those things and still have the confidence that you are loved. And in that growth feels natural. And then when you come back into that season and you get to doing it again, you're not shaken by that. You're excited by that because, hey, here we go again. You know what I mean? Where is this next level taking us? Where is our next stage in life taking us? Because it is a couple. You are doing it together. You might be at different stages within that walk, but you are doing it together. So don't detach when it gets to that point. Get busy, connect, find a way to come back to the middle and be like, I love that about you. I love that you are so excited about this new thing. That will change so much in your relationship. It'll kind of relieve some of that pressure and that question, that anxiety around the fact that your life is changing, your relationship is changing, your friendship is adjusting. Those things won't be so scary if you know you've got a partner. Everybody does things a little easier when you got somebody rocking with you. Everybody likes a buddy every now and again. How about your lifelong buddy? You know what I'm saying? So, to nutshell it, those are the 4 things that I want to recap real quick, and then I'm going to tie it up so we can get into our final thoughts for tonight. But the number 1 step for staying engaged and in love as your spouse changes to recognize the season. Understand that all kinds of things can affect how we move about life and how we feel we're doing at life. So when your spouse decides that there's something that requires adjustment, you have to be willing to gauge that and adjust along with them. ABC, always be communicating. Number 2, never stop talking. There is no such thing as a comfortable silence when it comes to a marriage. Do not allow your marriage to get into a comfortable silence where everything is mundane, you get into a routine, and there's nothing new to share amongst you. That keeps your blinders up, that allows outside things to get in and shake your life around, and you are it's hard for you to gain your grounding back when you're blindsided. Somebody has to be on, watch your 6. That's what your people are for. Watch each other's 6. So always be communicating so you can catch those sneak attacks. All right, number 3, know the difference in change and revelation. A lot of the things that we attribute to my person is going through a change is this person was initially blind. Okay, so you've got to be willing to see the negligence on your part and be willing to adjust it. When you recognize that this is something that's kind of how this person just is. And especially if they share that with you, if they share that they've made an accommodation out of love for you that is different than what they would have normally done had you not been involved. Those are things that we should tune into, not disregard, because those are little sacrifices that our spouses are making for us out of love for us. So don't scoff at those things. Cherish those things and understand how you can come back and regroup from that and love better after you realize these new things. Change can be sexy. Allow this thing to be a beautiful situation for your life, for your relationship. All right, number 4, last one. Get busy. It's not always about you or the relationship. A lot of change is totally based on self. And the best way to allow for those changes is to keep yourself busy. Whether that be with the boys, the girls, your babies, a side activity, a ordained side activity, a hobby, whatever it may be. But keep yourself busy and occupied so that you are not sitting up, coming up with assumptions, coming up with things to think down about yourself, finding out, wondering, picking yourself apart with idle time. Make yourself busy, so that when you guys do come back together, your spouse doesn't feel like they've been taking from the relationship, they've been neglecting you, they left you out here bored and lonely, or whatever the case may be. Don't put that guilt onto your spouse because they're in a different space in their walk than you are, because you're going to want that same space to do you when it's your time, because it's coming. Your time is coming. Whoever it may be right now, those tables will turn, and you will need that same respect that they're asking from you, that same accommodation, that same ability to move and grow and become their better selves. So I hope these four tips helped you out and helped you understand how much more alike we are than different, and that growth is good. I want you all to have a beautiful, beautiful week. And until the next time, this has been Sass and Sage. Y'all have a great week. All right. That is all. I can't hear anybody else. Wynn, are you there? There we go.
You're muted.
We're coming back. I think we're coming back. I got captions now.
Yep, that was good. That was real good.
Okay.
Here we go with the eating screeches.
Been good all night with tech stuff, and now at the end they want to start.
Right.
All right. Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
That was real good. All right, we got 6 minutes left?
Yeah, something like it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this bad puppy up. Gail, you up?
Great show tonight. Go out and have a productive week. Stay warm. We got another cold front coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all stay warm, and let's see what's coming up. You need tickets to the Zeta Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated's 30th anniversary hit me up. Tickets are $35. I still have some left. And also remember that the Curvy Kitten Fashion Show featuring Cool Cats will be May 19th. So
Yes.
keep that on your mind. Peace.
I'm waiting for I can't wait for the fashion show. That's gonna be dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope. All right, Q, what you got?
I want to tell everyone to have a beautiful week in my Valley Girl voice. I had a lot of fun tonight. Yeah, right. Shout out to this beautiful app that we are using. Like, I am so excited that we finally got this together. Win has been changing us throughout.
Kudos to the Panda for hooking us up.
Yes, for sure. We appreciate each and every one of our our day one live viewers. Look what Daddy got us, y'all. We done got gifted for the 2019, okay? Your service has not gone unnoticed on the Scoop Radio show.
Right. We upgraded.
Yes.
We leveled up.
So thank y'all for hanging with us, for rocking with us through all of our platform changes. And have a good week, y'all.
You got anything for Elegance by Design coming up?
Not coming up. Just go get you some good stuff because it's there. It's in the building.
All right. All right. My last comments are, of course, again, like I said, if you haven't registered for the Level Up Conference, do that ASAP. Excuse me. We definitely want to see you in Chicago. So please definitely do that. Also, March 23rd, Masquerade Ball.
Wow.
Get y'all tickets. Y'all need to get y'all tickets. And I'm going to say this, a little birdie. Actually, y'all should thank Thais for this. Thais has convinced me to run a sale this weekend. So if you're going to get your tickets, I would say wait until Friday morning and get your tickets because Thais will talk me into giving y'all a sale.
Wait for it.
Again, go to the Eventbrite page and go on and get your, if you haven't liked the event page on the go to that page, you'll see the event. But yeah, come Friday morning, we're going to have a sale for the weekend. Thanks to Thais. So y'all can also thank you, Thais.
Thanks, Thais.
So definitely be in the house, y'all. It's going to be the three of us with DJ D Chappelle. If you were there last year, you already know it was off the hook. If you weren't there last year, you got to be there this year. We dance, we have fun, we kick it. What we do. And so you definitely want to, So you definitely want to be in the house March 23rd at Asia Blue. We're going to have food, the whole nine. So you definitely want to come out to our Masquerade Ball. Third, new music. We're still looking for new music. So any genre, if you like your music to be played on the show, like you heard tonight, then definitely email us the MP3 version of your music, the radio edited MP3 version, along with any artwork that you like use that we could help you out, and then where people can download your music from. So we definitely want to support you as an artist, so please definitely make sure you do that. Of course, the Word on Wednesday will be on tomorrow. So tune in at 7 o'clock with Pastor Burns. He will definitely continue in his series, The Crisis in Corinth. So so tune in at 7 o'clock tomorrow with Pastor Burns right here on Blog Talk Radio, and he's going to continue that. Other than that, hope y'all have a good rest of the week. Q, I appreciate you all as always, to all of our listeners. I hope, like they said, I hope you guys enjoyed this new format because we like it.
A lot.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
Because we're gonna keep doing it. It's paid for. So,
right.
Yeah, so we're going to use it. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Again, y'all level up. Y'all definitely want to come to this Level Up Conference. So again, if you have questions, y'all see me, holler at me. We're gonna have a good time, and I want you to be there. So don't miss out
on it. Again, if you have questions, go to the website, levelupchicago.com. And yeah.
Get registered.
It's gonna be good. It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it just because it's my castle, but I'm kind of am saying it because
A little bit.
it's going to be good. It's still be good. Yeah. It's going to be good. So, yeah. So, all right, y'all. I hope this helps you. I really hope this helps you always. We got some really good stuff coming up too for y'all too there. And if you have also two things, number one,
At all. Just let us
know
out.
what you say.
Let us out. Post about it.
We were gonna perform this at the conference. We're gonna be Entertainment Friday. We'll get back to you.
What I'm trying to say is, if you're not following us on iTunes, do it. If you're not on the radio show page, do it. Also, within the next 24 hours, you will also be able to get all of the Global Drive radio shows on Global Drive Network shows on Spotify.
Yeah.
So if you are a Spotify listener, you definitely want to go in tomorrow, and you will see all old school radio shows, every show we've done in the last 3 years will be on there. So, yeah, that's what I want to say. It's on Spotify. So, we growing. We doing it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless y'all. Good night.
Right. When is the show over? I feel like I should fade to black.
Right, like, and this singing wind is doing though.
Right.
You must karaoke before the ball this time. You gotta karaoke.
Right.
I don't think he's gonna push the button, sis. He ain't gonna end it.
He ain't gonna end it. I gotta end it before I stand up.
Good night, y'all.